Businesses are desperate. They can't find workers fast enough in what's now the biggest staff shortage in half a century. Tonight, the celebrity chef's blunt warning to the Prime Minister.
It's so exciting to open a new restaurant in a new hotel and create new opportunities. The jobs are there. How are we going to fill them?
It's actually been like probably trying to make an omelette without eggs.
We've got about 35 across our group. I need 50.
It's a bit more modern, a bit more slicker. Lights are down low, music's up loud, and the food is amazing as well. And it's ready to get picked up.
That's the main thing.
Chef Luke Mangan should be celebrating. Following a terrible 2 years, he's recently opened the doors to his ritzy new restaurant, Luke's Kitchen, in Sydney's CBD. And while Luke knows we're moving in the right direction, staff shortages mean he's only open 4 days a week.
Luke, it's been, a year since we last spoke of this issue. It's not getting any better, is it?
The demand there for restaurants, cafes and tourism things are there. We just don't have the staff to open on a Tuesday or a Monday even, and that's a real problem.
Luke's been warning of a skill shortage in Australia since COVID shut his industry down in 2020.
Anyone who's paying full overheads of rent and things like that, yet is only taking about 60% of their income, how are they going to survive?
If there is a solution, what is it?
Government needs to cut the red tape and allow people to come back into this country, visa workers, and work for our businesses, tourism businesses, building, hospitals and things like that. Cut that red tape so it's a quicker process to get in here.
In February this year, there were 423,500 jobs available across all industries in Australia. That's a 6.9% increase from November last year. The level of job vacancies has increased 86% since February 2020, prior to the start of the pandemic. In hospitality, the number of jobs up for grabs has grown 212%.
We have a new government in place. Is there anything you'd like the Prime Minister to know?
He says he's, a small business sort of guy and a hard-working Aussie, but there's so many hard-working Aussies out there who have these small businesses, cafes, wine bars, restaurants, whatever they may be.
Hi there. Sorry to keep you waiting, we're just a bit short today.
Today, tomorrow, and for at least the next few months, says Mike Enright, owner of pub The Duke of Clarence, just around the corner from Luke's.
We've got 100 capacity here, we only probably let 75 in.
Mike hasn't got enough staff on the books, and what's turning out to be a horror flu season is hurting him.
We've increased everybody's salaries by about 10%, 15%, depending on it, depending on the role. We're trying to get them into a 4-day week. I'm trying to organise a day out for them, but they're too tired. We have an agency that we're currently using, and on a Saturday night, they get paid $60. Well, they don't. The agency gets $60 an hour just to collect glasses.
Luke Mangan says he can't afford to overpay.
If we do that now, it really changes the whole thing in the future. But also, if I'm paying a waiter $90 an hour or whatever it may be, who pays for that? The customer ends up paying for that.
The biggest staff shortages Australia's seen in half a century.
Economist Chris Richardson.
Chances are this starts to slow down. You're already seeing the Reserve Bank raising interest rates, for example. That combination says we will see a little less job growth, a little less job shortages, though we should be getting a little more wage growth.
This is the worst job, and I thought it might have been my swan song. It's the worst job I've ever been on in my life, and nothing to do with the client, nothing to do with the nature of the job. I love a difficult job, and this one's given me everything I want, but it's hard.
Builder Mark Kitching is desperate.
People come, they go for more money, they don't come back. We lost our electrical contractor 2 weeks ago. Last Wednesday, we lost our waterproofing contractor. They were major companies, waterproofing company, and they've got that much work with tier 1 builders that they can't afford to put resources here.
For years, Mark's relied on Hunter labour hire for staff, but CEO Circa Hunter says she can't fill jobs for the first time in her career.
There's probably people back in maybe the UK or Canada that would have come here. They're now looking at other countries because they didn't shut down for 2 years, so they're more appealing.
In February this year, the construction industry had more than 35,000 jobs up for grabs. That's a 112% increase in vacancies in 2 years.
This job was scheduled to finish just before Christmas. With natural delays and certain, sort of change of scope, we expected to be around March, April. At the moment, I wouldn't like to say when I believe it's going to be finished because my client might hear it and have a heart attack.
If they don't finish their projects, they don't get paid. If they don't get paid, they go out of business. And then the knock-on effect of that is there won't be any jobs because all these small to medium-sized companies will have actually gone bust.
Things are toughest right now in construction. When you work with a builder, that builder has made a promise about a cost. And those promises were made when materials were cheaper, when labour was cheaper. That combination is killing them right now.
Chris Richardson says it's a matter of time, 6 months at least, in his opinion, before the situation improves.
And this is Seller by Luke, so we need staff just to look after this. Are you looking for a job? Another job?
Yeah, look, how much are you paying?
Well, no comment there. The Prime Minister needs to come up with the perfect recipe, and I'm happy to sit down and work on a recipe to help our industry and tourism and all these small businesses. As I said, I'm no expert, but I know how to write a recipe.